on this when God identified Israel with a sign called circumcision. God said, I want you to circumcise every male child on the 8th day. Why? Well, you say, well, that was the sign that you were a Jew. It was more than that. Why did God choose that kind of sign? Why didn't He carve an X in their wrist or whatever? Why that? Because the cutting away of that skin was a demonstration of the fact that man needed a cleansing. Something in his life and character needed to be cut away. Something needed to be removed. And why did He choose that particular thing to be removed? Because nowhere better is the sinfulness of man demonstrated than in his procreative capacity. If you want to see the sinfulness of man at its nature level, you see it in the fact that a man will always produce a sinner. And so circumcision was God's way of saying to people, you need radical surgery at the very most deep level of your nature, as evidenced by the fact that you can produce nothing but sinners. The whole of mankind was there in Adam when he sinned, and all subsequent human history then was encapsulated at that moment. The mark of sin was made, and we all bear it. The Jews would understand this corporate personality concept because they didn't think of themselves as individuals, but as parts of people, tribe, and family. So, the whole of the human race in the loins of Adam is then caught in the polluting of sin. That's what Paul is saying here. He's saying in verse 12, through one man sin entered into the world. Pretty basic, simple point. Adam, acting as mankind, was then the solid mass of humanity, and when he sinned, he introduced sin into the human stream, so that one man, by one act of disobedience, affected the whole human race. 1 Corinthians 15 says, as in Adam all die. That takes us to the second point in this verse. Death entered the world through sin. Point 1, sin entered the world through Adam. Point 2, death entered the world through sin. That's what it says. Death through sin. God said, you eat, and the day you eat, you will die. And the death principle became operative in Adam and Eve the day they ate. If they had not eaten, they would have no doubt been translated into the presence of God without experiencing death, and the notable exceptions of Enoch and Elijah would have been the rule for everybody.